So here we are. This is reverse weeded and I have it cut into a square. And the reason you want this black part is because this white part is where your ink is going to come through. You don't want ink on anything else. So I'm going to show you how to you'll want to transfer tape it on top of this, and I just use it's R tape. I got it off Amazon. There's the serial number. You can look it up. This roll of tape has lasted me forever. It's just like a 4-inch roll or something. I like the smaller ones so I can layer it up. Then I'm going to show you, you need painter's tape to go all the way to the edge. You see how it's not going to be completely full. Now I have a 16 by 20 screen because I like to have a little bit of a bigger surface and not feel like I'm pushing the edges. So I'm not actually going to apply it to this side. You'll see that the brand is here. This is one I've used already. You can see the paint on it. But I'm going to apply it to the flip side. You can see there is a ridge. This is the side you're going to be screen printing on. So this is where your ink is going to go. You don't want to have the ink on the vinyl side, because the more you squeegee, the more it's going to wear out your vinyl, and you're going to end up peeling these pieces off, the little pieces in the center off. So you don't want to do that. All these little pieces of your letters will come off probably the first time you squeegee. So you're going to apply this vinyl to the back side. It's important. Okay, just a minute. It's important to get permanent vinyl because it is stickier. You want it to adhere really well to your screen, and it's important to squeegee it down so that there is really good adhesion to the screen, between the screen and the vinyl. I have used Cricut's squeegee before, but I really like this squeegee. I'm pretty sure it came from Uline or Oracal or something like that. It's just a plastic squeegee. I used to work at a sign shop and we would get these all the time, and they're just really good. I mean, they're pretty cheap. So I like this one because it's a little bigger and I can get more surface area and more pressure on it. So here we go. I'm going to try to do this where you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. I know this is a little awkward space-wise, but hopefully y'all can see. I'm going to do this here first. I'm going to do 2 screens like I talked about earlier, because I have 185 shirts that I'm doing. I've only done 31 of them. So if you have a large order, you're going to need, Ruthie, shh, you're going to need multiple copies of this vinyl, because you're going to not be able to get a whole bunch out of one. I was able to get 31 out of one screen, out of one vinyl use, but I probably should have only done 20 because I started losing a little bit of detail on the teeny tiny little colon that's in the scripture. So I'm probably going to do that this time, but I'm still learning. I'm learning as I go. This is not something I do all the time, so it's still a lot of learning for me as well. But one of my favorite things that I tell people, since I started my business back in 2017, is to never stop learning. Okay, you can go throw it in the garbage if you're done. So you can see, hopefully, that I didn't have to go all the way to the end here, because that part doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that this is covered, because your vinyl's still going to transfer the same way. So what I like to do is I like to trim it down to the edge, and I try not to cut off any of the black. So I'm just going to trim it even with the vinyl. have a very sleepy, almost 6-month-old, so if you hear baby crying, that's what's going on. She is in that stage of not wanting to put herself to sleep, so it doesn't really work when mama's working, but we make it happen. I tell you, it's hard when you're a stay-at-home mom and trying to fulfill orders full-time. This is a full-time job for me. I do this. I get maybe 4 hours maybe of work in a day. I'm lucky if I get 2 sometimes. But okay, you'll see that I have squeegeed the same direction as the transfer tape because I don't want to run the risk of peeling it this way where the line is. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just going to make sure it's good. Now here it doesn't matter. It's good and adhered to the transfer tape. You can see I used Orcal 651 intermediate cal. I ordered this off Amazon. Okay, so what we're going to do next, I'm gonna move all my stuff out of the way here, is, whoop, my iPad's falling. Here we go. Don't fall. Move my cord so I have a good workspace here. Okay. I have vinyl stuck all over me. Can y'all relate? Okay. So like I said, we're not putting it on the side with the name. You're gonna flip it over. You'll see this is where you tighten your screen. I recommend getting one of those wheel tighteners. I think I ordered mine off of Amazon. So every once in a while, you're just gonna have to run that wheel down in that groove just to tighten your screen up again, because with use, it does come a little loose. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna peel your vinyl. I like to do it about, I just like to start at the top and peel it so I can line it up. I do it about 2 inches down, 2 inches in, or centered in the side. This is why I like to have some space, just because it gives me the ability to see exactly where it's centered and I don't have to feel like I'm cramped. And 2, with your squeegee, you can't get all the way to the edge. Okay, so I'm going to use the Cricut squeegee on this one because I know a lot of people have those. I'm just going to show you that it works. And again, just go in the opposite. Like, you can go up to squeegee, but don't go down because I'm going to hit that ridge. But I go over it in multiple directions. See, I'm going to hit that ridge, so you don't want to go that direction. And then what you do, you flip it over and you do this side. You want to go a little bit slower because this, I'm not sure what this screen is made out of. It could be silk, it could be some sort of fine metal, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, it should look, whoop, my iPad's falling, sorry guys. It should look like this. That's old ink residue. It shouldn't affect it at all. Just keep washing your screen really good with Dawn and a garden hose sprayer. Okay, maybe I can get it further away. So there it is. Sorry, it's sideways. It should be up like this. Typically, I will do my, I didn't do it this time. I like to do my design up at the top where the Speedball logo is because that gives me a good center point. So what I'm going to have to do now is mark my center here when I'm doing my t-shirts. So you can do it however you want to. There's no perfect way. So now you're like, okay, how do I keep ink from getting over here? So you're going to go back to your screen. Now we're going to peel this off very carefully. You may have some lifting of your vinyl, but that's okay because we're going to squeegee it another time on the front, not the back, because your squeegee will rip the vinyl off. So you just peel it off good and slow. You don't want to peel straight up. Just like if you're applying vinyl to a tumbler, you don't want to peel straight up. You just want to peel it at a 45-degree angle and really slowly. You want to just walk it. See, some of mine came up right there. I'm just going to use my fingernail to try to help it go back down. I'm going to squeegee. Make sure your letter centers stay, because those are very important, and you do not want to have to hand paint those back in. So you're like, oh, it's peeling up. It still works fine. This is why you don't put it on the front of your screen. So see how it doesn't, like if you had a removable vinyl, your design would not stay like this one. Like it's already trying to come up, but that's okay. Like I said, we're gonna squeegee it once again, and this one started rolling on me. So you just, this is a slow process. And I'll show you my 5-gallon bucket later on. Not a 5-gallon bucket, sorry, it's just a 1 gallon. It feels like a 5-gallon bucket. But I'll show you my bucket later on. Before I go to the actual printing process. I'm gonna have to get my girls down for a nap. But before I get to my actual process, I will show you what I use. So there we go. Transfer tape is off. Yes, there's a few little bubbles. We're gonna go back this way, and we're gonna make sure that everything is adhered really well. No air bubbles. You'll see some places it looks like little rings, but you just want to make sure that everything is smoothed down again, especially those itty bitty spots. You just want to make sure you press down really good. You don't have to go up and down. You can go any direction. I just kind of work it where I see problem areas, work the spots where I know it'll buckle. It likes to buckle on these little spots once the ink hits it because it gets moisture there. So just be aware of that. Okay, so we're gonna flip it back over, and we are going to put our painter's tape on here, okay? So I hope y'all are able to see my whole process. I'm so sorry that I have such a small workspace. I'm finally getting my craft room, my office, so to speak, because I do work from home, the way that I want it. So you're just gonna, I don't know if you can see this, you're gonna let it overlap just a little bit. You don't want it to be too much, but you don't want it to be too little, because you're trying to create a seal so that you don't get any ink in between the vinyl and the edges. So sometimes I don't tear off enough, but it's okay. I'll just show you my process here. Anyway, back to the craft room. I feel like I cannot function unless my room is organized. I don't know if there's any of you out there that just like are overwhelmed by the mess and cannot think if it's dirty. So, and if you're wondering, yes, we are going to squeegee the painter's tape with Cricut scraper or with our with the white one that I have. You can also use an old credit card. That's the beauty of it. Like, you can use what you have on hand. So I'm probably, I don't know if you can see the top or not. See how it's really close to the edge there? I'm probably going to put another strip there just to make sure that I don't have any seepage. No seepage. I like for it to be fully covered. And I'm only going to show you the one screen because the same process is going to happen on the second screen. So I'm going to spare y'all the painstaking process. But really, it doesn't take that long. It's really not hard at all. And then you just fold down any excess you might have. Don't worry about your screen looking pristine. That doesn't matter. It's gonna get dirty. Okay, so now I'm gonna see the difference. That shows you that it's pressed down. Okay, so you're just gonna kind of burnish it a little bit on the edges. And yes, you can go over your design again just to make sure, because see, this is flexible. So you can see the pressure. That's what makes it easy to screen print on shirts, because it's so flexible and you just push it down. So I'm just gonna rub over it really quick. I'm gonna burnish my edges. Okay, the screen is ready. All right, let me show you the speedball ink that I use. And normally, I don't normally do projects this big, but this is the ink that I use. Make sure you're getting fabric screen printing ink. I usually just buy the 8 fluid ounces because I can get 10 shirts out of this if I'm doing a full 12 by 12 design, a single color. I can get 10 shirts out of this. Same with this. These are the only 2 colors I've used so far. I am getting up the courage to make a 2-color shirt print. So when I do that, I will be sure to record my process and show you. And then this one has not been used yet. I have another one that's out in the garage that I've been using, but I got this one in case I have an oopsie or whatever. So this is the 9-inch, I believe. Yeah, this is the 9-inch squeegee, and it's great. It's cheap. It's like $7 or something like that. And then I don't have my spoon in here or my little pencil basket, but I'll show you those when I go to do my actual screen. And I appreciate all of you for watching. I really hope this helps. I'm going to go ahead and post this part so that y'all can, if you want to go along with me and get your designs cut, and then we can do the printing together. That'd be awesome if you have something that you really want to do. So practice, practice, practice. I'm not perfect. I will never claim to be perfect. I'm still learning. Never stop learning is one of the things I live by. You can always learn something. So, sorry, I'm trying to do this ghetto-fied. So, rigged it. But anyway, never stop learning. Always push yourself to learn something new. So, again, practice, practice, practice. Your way may be different from my way, and it may work just fine. So, you do you, and let's learn together. Awesome.